Hi everyone, I'm going to do a quick video on the Derraco Pcps system. Obviously you've all seen it by now. See, this comes normally is in one piece. I've taken it apart just for ease of demonstration. That's your main Pcps, that's the main bit of the tool. The head, and then shaft with the micrometer on it. Really fine, really positive feel to the micrometer. Little direction arrow on there. I don't know, trying to get this thing to see it. Direction thing there, so that way pushes the rod up. Yeah, quality bit of kit. So quickly, this is obviously what you get. You get the head, you get this anvil to go in your press. Thus, you get a green set, bar and another head, which is for large rifle, as well as the rod that goes inside. And you get a yellow set, which is your small, and a small rod as well. You can obviously see the size difference between the small and the large. Just in case you do forget, it does have S&L etched into it, laser etched in, really good. You also get the tubes. In fact, I'm not too sure if these come with it. Yeah, I think you get these with it. Again, laser etched with S for small, L for large. Come with a stop pin in the one end, or pickup head. So I need to do some large rifle primers, so I'll show you those. And then you can pick up your choice of shoes or anvil, whatever these bits are called. These go in the, for your cases. We've got a 223 and a 308 one. 308 covers most things, I guess. I'm going to move these out of the way. You also get in the box a little bag of spares, and stuck on my magnets here, a couple of Allen keys. I'll stick them on magnets there just to keep them safe. So then, really easy to set up. Take your rod, drop it in, okay, and then we screw the body onto the head. Now I've already used mine, so this is set to where I want it in my press. So obviously I can use the flat sides of that and a bit of a grip on the head just to get that tightened up nicely. But obviously if you're doing this for the first time, you just want to be aware that this is quite a nice tight fit. So when you actually fit this in, you'll want to lock your lock ring down a little bit. And then what I did was assemble the head and then use the back of the lever. I'll show you in a sec, just to get some extra purchase on to tighten it down. So then the big Allen key, I'm going to take out one of these Allen keys, Allen bolts. I'm going to just loosely slacken off the other side, and that allows this plate to spin over. And this is how well made this stuff is. I didn't even realise at first, but if you look, see that little indent there? As you swing this indent over, there's an indent on the inside for your thing to go in. You put the hot shell holder plate to go in, and they've even notched that out. Most other people would have just moved this Allen key over a bit and made this head a bit bulkier, so that they didn't have to do another machining operation on this plate. But that's the level of detail this guy's gone to. So anyway, with that out of the way, bar goes in there, that bit sits on top, this hole lines up with this pin, So I get it sat on there, give the bar a little bit of a wiggle, and all drops into place. Now your bar will go back and forth. Now I've made an error here on purpose. There's a spring on the back, so that this is spring loaded, and these have got a little hook on them. So what I've figured out to do was take this out before I put that bit on, because this hook is quite small. Hook it on there, sorry, that way around, whilst it's off, and then you know you've actually got that on properly when you drop it onto there. He says pinging the spring off again. Bear with me a minute. There we go. That goes on there like that. That goes on there like that. And there you go. And then your shell holder. Not very good at doing this piece to camera type stuff, like fingers getting in the way everywhere. And then your shell holder of your choice drops in there, and then this sits up back over the top and holds everything nicely in place. Put the grub screw back in there, and we're just gonna whiz that down. Now I've noticed this plate, you don't need to get this mega tight. Obviously it wants to be tight, because if there's any up and down play in there, that's going to give you a bit of differentiation in your seating depth of your primers. So I'll just give it a quick bump and another. There we go, and that's it. Your spring's located in the back there, head's mounted, your rod's in, and we are good to go. So move the handle out of the way. What I'm going to do is, obviously I've already put the anvil in the ram, run that up all the way to the top, sit that in, and then again, another handy thing, use your finger to just waz that round. He says there we go. Now I've set this up so that when I'm pulling the ram, I'm not pulling it all the way down. I didn't see the point of having this head sat all the way up here wobbling around and getting full leverage on the arm of the press. So I thought, for me, it's a bit easier to do it this way. Got what, 45 degrees throw in the rod, keeps it nice and simple. And there we go. Now another thing I've learned, once you've got to this stage, it's quite good to just put the rod all the way down, get the ram up as far as it'll go, and just with your finger feel across the top and see if the pin is pushing all the way up. If not, now's a good time to just adjust your micrometer. If I move you over a little bit, let's see if you can see it. So you just adjust the micrometer until you can feel that that's nice and smooth on the top there. Once that's feeling like it's in almost the right place, there's not really much else to do on that. So we'll move on to the rods. So like I say, I've got some loading to do, so let's lift that up out of the way so I don't keep bashing myself with it. And then what we're going to do is get a tray of primers. And most of us have had ye oldie trusty RCBS handheld primer tool. That's what I've upgraded to this from. So you can, or you know, if you've not, there's other ways of doing this. I just realised this tray is actually too big to collect all of them in one go, so I need a piece of paper or something. There we go. That's what I'll do. Tip them out onto there. Tip them into there. He says, just shake them harder, Alan. Right, I'll put the lid on. We've got them all right way up. I'm going to go upside down. I'm going to take the lid off so they're all flat side up, and then it's just a case of, tell you what, let's move you down here a sec. So you've got them all bottom side up, and with the blue dibber end we're just going to sit there and pick them all up. Okay, I'll fast forward through the next bit. Okay, so now we've got our tube all loaded up with primers. I'm actually going to invert the tube. That's why this little pin's in. The tube actually goes into the Pcps that way. Once it's in, there's probably enough space for these primers. I can actually hand drop them into the top. So let's get that in now. So we've got the priming tube ready, and it literally just sits in the little slot there. Bit play in it, but that's fine. Once it's in, I'm just going to hold it, pull the pin out. Here the primers drop down, so the primers are in ready now. So I'm going to take those last couple that I have left over and drop them in manually. 3 and 4. So there we go, we've got 100 primers in there now. So we've got the head set up, ready to go. We've got the priming tube full. All we need to do, our first primer sat in there now, ready to go into the first case. Now this is where it gets fun. So just to test, I'm going to push the ram up, have a quick look. Yeah, that looks like it'll be about right. First case in, and then prime. Now can't get the case out, so I need to put the ram up a little bit more. Bit more. There we go. So give it a quick feel with my finger there. Yeah, it feels like it needs to go up a little bit more than that. So again, just drop it back in. Now, as I say, we've primed that one. We haven't recharged the tray. So this ram will go up and down now without dropping another primer in. It is a manual reload rather than automatic. I guess it gets around licensing restrictions. Right, that feels pretty flush. So what I like to do, just to double check, I'm not taking a measurement, all I'm doing is putting the case in. What I do is put the case in my micrometer and just wobble it back and two on the blade. I can feel where it's sat flat, and then hold it in, and then I'm just holding it up to the light to see. You can't see it here, but when I hold that to the light, I can see light coming through the gap, and I can see the primer sticking out proud from the base. So if you haven't got like a depth gauge or something, that's an easy way of sort of checking to see. So by feel, that feels okay, but it's just ever so slightly sticking out. So I'm going to go 4 clicks, do it again. That is now sat either completely flush or just under. I'll turn my micrometer on. I'm just going to open up the jaws a little bit, and then the bottom rod there, I'm just going to hold that on the primer and slowly slide that down, and that's saying 0. So I'm going to go another 4 clicks. What I'm looking for is just like a thou. So the pin there sits on the primer, goes in, there we go. What's that? Three thou. There we go. So we've got it sat in about a thou. It's not going to be exact science unless you get the proper depth gauge and you set it all up, but at least I know it's not sticking out. So there we go, tube number 1 done. So then double check it. So we're going to load another primer in, set that one, do that, quick feel, yep, feels good. Oh, it says 3, obviously probably not 3. It says 5 now. Oh, there we go. Turn it the right way up helps. So there's number 2 sat at same depth. Reload, case in, prime, feels good. Fumble about. I mean, you're going to get that level of accuracy with your RCBS hand loading thing. All these hand priming tools, I guess, are sort of susceptible to a little bit of play and what have you. I mean, there's literally no play in that. I'll wobble the bench before I move any of this. So there you have it, the Derraco Pcps system. Well worth the money. Gives you all the precision and all the accuracy you're going to need, and at a fraction of the cost of the other big names out there for the precision primer seating systems. I'll do a time lapse and show you how quick I can get through the other 47 cases. See what you think. So there you have it, 50 cases primed, ready for powdering and bullets, all done in 5 minutes, something like that, a couple of minutes. I feel it loads quicker than my hand priming tool, and I've not got cramp in my hands now. Worth every penny. Get in touch with Derraco on the website, or Tim on Facebook. Get yourselves one bought. It'll save you time and save you money in the long run.